I'll give people a little bit of time to get in here. A second or two. Don't look the most flattering right now. Fine. Not too worried. Because what a lot of today was just going to be basic stuff. We're talking basic stuff today. Which is good. Oh, we should have like a going live sign thing. I guess it doesn't really bother me. Here, hold on. Nice. There we go. Give 5 minutes to twirl my thumb a little bit. All right. All right. So 5 minutes is up. We're going to now start talking, which is a great thing. So anyway, welcome to my new split. I'm doing things a little bit differently, where I will be taking a look at 3 sets of ideas. I actually kind of ideally wanted to start this with mechanics on Monday, but got the better of me. Figured I should just get rolling. So with that being said, there's like Monday will be our mechanic day. On Wednesdays, we're looking at utility. And then on Fridays, we're looking at my macro. And these are like the 3 fundamental ideas that over the course of you playing Valorant, you learning to improve in these general aspects will allow you to play better, and it'll allow you to give you some purpose in your practice. Of course, to preface, all of these are important. There isn't a single part of those that is not important, and they can also be broken down into subcategories, of course, as well. With that being said, today is macro, and so macro usually is hard to teach because you do have to, it's like the barrier to learning macro understanding of the game is you have to be adept at shooting people in the head, and you also have to be adept at using your utility. So usually this step is like the barrier to improvement, because it's, I mean, there's like there's barriers of entry. Like you have to get past the 2 hurdles of understanding how to shoot people and then how to use utility. Of course, but once you get past those walls, then we should start learning about macro. When should we start learning? I thought like Immortal Plus in the past, but that's way too late, honestly. If you don't know the macro of the game by Immortal Plus, I think you're inefficient. You don't necessarily have to know it super early on. I honestly think trying to learn macro like iron to silver, it will be detrimental to your game plan. But like around gold is when we can start kind of thinking about it. Of course, it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of knowledge. Everything should be growing at the same rate. Let's just say it's the 3 bars. Again, I've used this not experiment, but I've used this analogy so much. But you're only as strong as your weakest trait. So if we can just get these to all go up at the same time, that would be super ideal. But it does take extra time that people don't have. So, but enough of this preamble. Let's get into the basics of macro. So, of our basic like 5 skills, there's like 5 basic skills that can also be broken down even further, but these 5 skills are like mechs, or mechanical skill. That includes like movement, your raw aim, stuff like that. I like the ability to absorb information. Then you have communication, how to like effectively communicate, all that kind of stuff. Then you have like utility, usage. Then you have positioning and rotation. And while all of these combine at the highest level to fit into macro, like it's just a line that goes straight down, it's important to kind of separate them as well. And so when we talk macro, the bulk of like a lot of what the macro stands for, like all these advanced techniques and all these advanced concepts that we're going to be looking at, look very different under the lens of like the highest tier. So like highest tier stuff is like we're thinking like map control, we're thinking like when we're using utility, from what position are we using that utility, how do we shift people. There's concepts like the chain, which is defensive, like a defensive idea in nature that attackers can exploit, and so there's a lot, but like in essence, a lot of like the macro strategy and the macro understanding of the game comes from understanding positioning and understanding rotation. And because the game is super dynamic, you can't just be, there's a one size fits all solution for these 2 skills. They are very dynamic between the agent roles. And because they're dynamic with the agent, you can't just blanket statement say, okay, this is where you position players, or this is when you rotate always. You can't flowchart the game like that because there's too many variables at play. And too many game states past like 10 seconds that are impossible to keep track of. Anything like 10, 15 seconds, you can kind of like formulate it to a bit, but like past that, it's way too open, way too vague. You can't like teach that. That is something that's kind of more learned through experience. The more often you do something, the more likely it is that you will like learn and remember it. And plus, we have to expose ourselves to multiple like different situations. So for example, let's just pull a random situation out of our head. playing a 3v2 retake. Bombs planted danger. And then you have a player short, player danger. And utility, irrelevant. Everyone's used all the utility. It's just pure gunfights. And so what would make sense is to try to isolate one of these two individuals, right? Because we have the numbers advantage over on the defender side, right? So how do we get that isolation? Well, we get someone on spike and then triple up behind. That's like one idea. Is it a good idea? Maybe. There's still like this threat that could easily just win the game, right? Like he can route up top and win the game. How's it going, Void? Welcome to class. Welcome to class. And so you can't teach this. And because you can't teach this, it's a... Whoops. Anyway, going good. How's it going, King? Howdy, howdy. Oh, I'm familiar with your gameplay. Going good? Perfect. And so when we simplify positioning, okay, we'll go in like order. We'll talk about positioning first, and then we'll talk about rotation second. Of course, it'd be helpful if I can make it too. We'll just do some matches. Let's go. Let's go. Good luck. Have fun. Stay strong out there. Be safe. There's criminals afoot. But yeah, with positioning, before I like lose track of topic, it's very, very open for interpretation, but there's a lot of things that we can use to help us simplify the process and simplify the learning. What this could look like depends on agent to agent. Let's say you're a duelist. Let's just pick a random one like Reyna. Reyna's pretty simple to play, pretty easy, it's very focused on gunplay. And so we want to play in positions that allow us to utilize the agent's strength, which is excessive gunplay. And what Reyna really plays well into are like off angles, right? And so in positioning, we can consider that as well. What counters off angles? Flashes, drones, all that sort of stuff, recon. Like utility counter off angles. So of course it's dynamic in the game. You have to consider those factors in play, but like good spots for the Reyna would be somewhere like library, mid top, crossing A main, walking down B main, on top box tower, up here, like all these positions, which I guess I could mark real quick for any individual. Like these positions just feel really strong because you utilize your gunplay ability, drop one, and then you're away. Now, of course, you have to be super dynamic because let's say in a theoretical scenario, let's say you wanted to take this A main space, but they have a Sova on their team who drones, right? And so this off-angle advantage that you would have is now removed from play, right? Because off-angle advantage happens when you're not known, but once you're known, you no longer have an advantage, and the enemy team has an advantage to give vision. On a VOD review. All right, so for VOD reviews, join the Discord, read the VOD submission rules, and then I check it after I finish class. You're lucky I could read into it. But yeah, I put rules up in place just for this moment. It's very unlikely that I will do a review today, because part of the VOD submission rules is that I have to be uploaded before the start of my stream. I made that a rule because a lot of individuals was like, and this is me at like 7:30 when I'm already like knee deep into whatever I'm doing. Like I am doing something. And so what would happen is I would be doing something, and then some random individual would do, like they'd walk in here thinking they own the place, right? Let's give this guy a hat, right? Just got a big hat. Walk around like they own the place. And they would be like, hey, mister, I have VOD. Please review VOD. Or even worse, they don't even have a VOD. Like, they don't even have a VOD. And we're like, wait. And by the time that they've even had the time to get me a game, which of course wouldn't fulfill, like, it wouldn't be a good game, right? By the time, like, a good game gets to me, it's 8:30. I end at 9. And so with the VOD length, typically it's about like 40 minutes of VOD, right? On average, for a good game, we're talking about like 13, 8, or closer. Right, with those like parameters in mind, typically around 40 minutes. And so I would just sit here with my hands clasped, like twiddling my thumbs as I'm waiting for a student. And so what ended up happening is I was like, okay, enough of this. I have a plan in motion. You cannot interrupt the plan unless you had the ability to submit a VOD. So all that to say is, catch me next week on Monday. Bring a VOD. I will VOD review you if you submit it before then. Easy. The only person right now who has priority is an individual. Some people in here might know him. He goes by the name Mojo. We just kind of have a VOD sitting here. Yep. The Jojo. Yep. So whenever he shows up, the VOD's there. It's ready to go. Can I coach you after? Well, you pay me money. You guys pay me like a lot of money, so yeah. But yeah, free people have to follow rules. People who pay me get better treatment. And I probably won't do paid coaching in the future because honestly, this is my take on it is like, let's be real. If you guys weren't a part of a league, I would not charge for my service. I honestly thought about telling Affinity that I would do it for free. But you're part of a league, and so they expect you to win. And because they expect you to win, they're like, okay, I'll take payment because I actually have to come up with ways to get you guys to win more games. And because of that, I will take money. But like, it's a video game. I do it for the love of the sport. If people want to get better, I'll do it for free. There's no stakes, right? Like, let's say, because the only thing I can contribute is teaching you how to learn. That's it. That's the only value I can give you because I attempt to like provide that service to you. But that's it. That's literally all I do. So I hope that I never have to charge for coaching for like these sessions. Especially for like these classes. All right. Let's see. W, yes, sir. I've seen a little bit of you. If you want some prerequisite coaching, and I've only seen snippets of yeah. I catch you usually on bad days, and so what these like bad days lead me to believe, and this is something that a lot of people actually don't have. I'll give you the same notes I gave Void. All right. Alert, course. Good luck, have fun. And so I want you to, in this upcoming set of games, is to develop a killing instinct. And so what this looks like is, I can actually show an example. Fortunately, I have a pro player VOD just chilling here. All right. You don't have to be this crazy. But the initial plan, right? He blocks his cam, so it's kind of annoying. But this initial plan, of course, you see it as soon as it happens. Updraft dash, and the blind is meant to blind people here and here. And so what he's theoretically, he actually messes up the blind because, you know, the omen's bad. But he's supposed to fly in and kill, right? He's not looking for anything else. Look how he doesn't dodge the fight. Like, he doesn't wait for his squad. He just goes in and tries to end the existence of that Sova. And so developing, because a lot of people actually don't have this killing highlight. Hold on, let me pull up I wish I could find it. I don't remember the individual. Oh man, what is it? Hold on, Valorant. Yeah, no commentary. Yeah, Zekken's better. Let's see. Was it you, Cryptix? There's no way. No. Oh, it was somebody. I have to find them. Maybe it was... No, I don't think so. It was very small. Here. I'll just show a counter example. Oops. Please? Thank you. Okay. And so, he actually does exactly what I thought he was going to do. So... Net comes out, right? And so everyone, if the player is good, they're looking at the mini map, right? Because they're not able to peek yet. And so they see that two people actually are stuck. And so what this is meant to be, what this should be, theoretically, in terms of like developing a killer instinct, is you isolate and kill this guy, but he overswings because, you know, this guy's like gold or something, and exposes himself into 2 fights. And now you should actually not be in killer instinct. You're like, in this specific example, the guy should actually be like, oh, this looks really bad. Let me try to ISO this guy and unswing. Which of course, he's like, oh, oops. Yeah, and just dies. When he could have easily ISO'd one, got the second, life's good. But the idea is that like, you find the first guy, you stop immediately, kill him. Isolate that fight, kill him. Find the next guy, isolate, kill him. But then any moment, and the second part of killer instinct is like to understand when like the enemy is looking for you with killer instinct, and it's like, you know, you have that like realization, is like, oh, I'm probably gonna die, huh? Uh-oh. And so usually the rule is like 2 or 3 players looking at you, and it's like, do you really want to take that fight? The answer is likely no. Like, no. Am I really going to sit there and take a 3v1? I don't care who you are. No one on the planet wants that. And so that's like one of the big skills that most people lack, because they're just not willing to kill people. And it's really sad that it's like one of the first things you learn, but you just don't do. Let me find a round where he's disadvantaged. Yeah, this will be a good round for it, because I think we'll find that this guy will be very safe. God, the timing of the wall was so bad too, but that's like a fight for another day. Okay, he actually has a killer instinct. Yeah, it was killer instinct. Hears a sound, comes over and sprays him. Life's chilling. Anyway, I think you got to the gist. Have a killer instinct and life's good. Now, should you submit a VOD and I find something wildly incorrect about your gameplay, then yeah, we'll talk then. But like, for prerequisite, it's like, show me that you can go out and just end people's existence and make them unhappy for booting up the game of Valorant. All right. Let me... Because I guess we can, that is a good segue, because it's hard to find those fights with those engagements if you don't have good positioning. Hey, segue. So, you'll notice that there's actually, I guess we'll use Abyss as our example, but positioning on, like, these for, like, threats and kills really matter. And it's, like, super dynamic. It's like, do I want to commit to the fight? Well, playing in like areas like these are super committal, right? Like I can swing out fights, but I also have the example of like getting back. That's why like this area before it gets smoked off is pretty good. But then if it does get smoked, it's like, okay, life is not great. Feels awful because you're not coming out of the smoke. There's no way. Same kind of idea with tower. Although this is like a position you leave to. You feel? Because that's like where this player wants to stand. Like you stand out here, take the fight, or attempt to take the fight. If it feels really weird, you get back into tower. It's like when you want to take a fight, there should be the ability to take the fight. And so like really bad positions normally are places like tower, unless there's specific situations. Of course, like security is a really bad place to be positioned. On defense, B-Link is questionable. It's suspect. It's not great. And then obviously like deep B tower. Watching this angle is kind of useless. But like playing over here, watching main, or right here, being able to fall back, playing like up here, being able to fall back, you know. These all make sense, and these should like showcase that like we want to take fights early, but also have a backup plan in case things get dicey. And things can get dicey at a moment's notice. At any point, life can be not cool. And so, like, the easy way to look at positioning is when we simplify it, can I hold my sight? Can I leave if things get dicey? And I guess I can use, like... I don't need to, like, do any of that. This is, like... I can just, like, question mark around. And then, like, do I have impact if, like, the enemy makes a play that would counter my position? So, for example, let's say you're a Jett playing tower, which, of course, is already a question mark, right? Like, this is already, like, a silly thing to do as Jett. Even if you're opping, it's like, why am I not coming main and posting up and taking a fight, then dashing away, then updrafting, getting on this box, taking another shot as they're trying to come out, fall back, you know, doing all that good stuff. Because what happens on a normal execute if you're just opping, and let's say they just have a controller. All right. Well, we've poorly positioned, right? Because we're not prepared for what the enemy can do. And we get punished for it. That's like a very easy example to like contextualize positioning in a simple way. Like if the enemy has an action, does that counter your initial position? That was kind of like the same idea we had with the Reyna pick earlier. If you like go to main, this is your action. What's a reaction that the enemy can do? Well, a common enemy pattern with a Sova is droning up a main. And that makes you sad. That makes you all kinds of sad. That's like the freest kill on the planet. There's a couple free kills. Like this is a free kill. I do not see this fight winning anytime. Like anyone in this X doesn't win. If you're right here, unless you're a Jett floating off to the distance, you're not living there. I've never seen a Vents player peeking out of Vents win a fight. Unless they're like really good at the game. To the point where like they step out and this guy is like looking at them but misses and they just like pop. But that's pretty much it. That's like the formula you want to think. Like, there's like a single question you ask yourself, and it's like, what's the counterplay to my position? Or what counters my position? So that's the big question. And you ask yourself that. And then you play a game with that as your focus. You ask yourself all game is like, what counters my position? Okay, well, if they smoke or flash this, I kind of shouldn't stand here because they're just going to jump on me and I lose that fight 100%. Or if I'm close here with a judge, like, them droning and then mollying me would be kind of annoying. And then stepping out or flashing or doing some nonsense. Like, flushing me out of this position would be awful. But yeah, that pretty much solves positioning in its most basic properties. Of course, we can talk about, like, the strength of each position. We can go through every single example of, like, oh, this is strong, this is not strong, this is strong, this is not strong. But we'll be here all day, and I'm not about that. Instead, we can start talking about rotations, which is something we will also have right here. All right. So we all know what rotations is. It's moving from point A to point B to try to bolster the strength. In military terms, this was usually like covering our flank. I'm not going to draw a model of like a scale model of war, but just imagine like these lines are like thousands of soldiers. And let's say they're split in two. And these are like separate battalions, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so what the rotation would be like if there, let's just say there's an army like right here. If these guys are really, if these guys are smurfing in war, what they'll do is what's known as like a pincer maneuver. And they will move these teams and make a rotation to hit them from both sides. And that is not a fight you can win. It's basically like getting pressed in a panini maker. You just turn into a sandwich that the enemy eats for free. Think of rotations the same way. Your intention is to make an area stronger. You want, and this is particularly on defense. On attack, rotations are just kind of like you reading which one's weaker. And so there's a lot more kind of assumption-based or like information-based decisions that have to be made, or assumption-based thinking. A couple of those things come into play, especially when we talk about rotations further down the line. And so what this will look like is there's a couple of ideas for rotations, but in simple, we want to give rotations purpose. That's like the key to just simplifying it. Like this, the basic form of improving on our rotations is purpose. It's like, why am I leaving B Link to go help A? What prompts that? Right? Is it them taking A main? Because in my mind, that shouldn't be it, right? Like, if they're here, and then there's like a smoke, there's mollies, like your team is very good at stalling and pressing for time, does it make sense for you to over-rotate to tower when they haven't come out yet? And the answer is it depends. Right? Like, that's a high-tier answer, but they'll, like... Or not the high-tier answer, but, like, the very, like... kind of give-up answer is, like... Maybe it kind of depends. Like, that can be the answer for literally everything. Every situation has situations where it doesn't make sense to do or not to do a certain action. But if they just take A main control, and you're B main, or B link, it doesn't make sense for you to fast rotate through here. Why? Because they haven't taken site. Or they haven't attempted to take site. There's like no, let's say there's like no util that flew out. There's like no Sova Dart up here. There's no smokes that went out. Like they haven't shown signs that they want to take the site. And so what that tells me, and why it would make sense for my rotation, is I wouldn't exactly come to A tower. like from B-Link, right? The furthest I would go is I would shift over. I would shift over to either mid-top, or I'd go down library. This position allows me to, like, contest catwalk, theoretically contest library. Mid-top is a lot easier to play around, because then you can watch deep library, you can challenge catwalk. Like, this is better to be in, but if I'm stuck library, I'm stuck library. But then, let's say they commit. If I'm here versus here, I get here faster. And I can theoretically be a part of this, like, either fast retake, or I can help them hold the site. Let's say they're still dug in these positions, and they're kind of hard to weed out, and they're just now coming out. I can drop out tower, fight them, and then we win the fight, right? Theoretically. All this is theoretical, because at any rank, anyone can just shoot you in the head. And life is sad. But that's the easiest way. Like, think, why do I rotate here? Is, like, the biggest question. And we can go immediately to Zekken's defense to show some telltale signs of rotation.
Dude, I looked up Baby J Valorant on YouTube, and I can't find any, like, of his clips. It's just him beefing with people and people reacting to it.
Have you seen his Halo clips?
Nah.
They're kind of clean.
I'm gonna look him up.
Okay. They're talking fun.
Baby.
So with this example, let's go to Ascent. I could have always been like, yes. Oh, Cat, thank you for the 44 months. What's up? What's up? How's it going? Welcome to class. I hope the day finds you well. I hope it's not too cold. We're learning macro skills and rotation. We're starting pretty basic. We already covered positioning. If you need like a key concept to work on to help you improve your positioning faster, it's just ask the question, what counters my position? Is usually the driving point to whether a position is good or not. So let's say you like come A main. What counters this? Any sort of flash, any sort of drone, any sort of blind. It kind of makes this position kind of null and void. Feels really bad. This different sort of position, this is actually more countered by mollies and drone. Drone kind of counters these a lot, huh? But that's like the quick question you can ask if you want to improve that way. But with rotations, we're taking a look at Zekken and evaluating when and what triggers a rotation. And so pistol round is very unique in a sense where we don't have to play conservatively on the pistol round because we don't know how they're gonna play. And when you have no idea how they play, like you have no basis, like assume this is like 0-0, we have no idea what they're meant to be playing or like how they play the game. And because of that, we have to we work based off of like assumptions. And this is just accumulated over time and effort. And so you just have to make assumptions of what's correct and incorrect. But typically, what teams are going to do is they're going to fast hit site. So let's see. Spots no one mid. Walks up. No one top mid. Yep. And notice that we have now went from clearing mid, and then now we are looking to play fast rotate to B. Right? And what triggers this is they made sound in B lobby. And that signifies that they're going to 5-man rush it, and hopefully these guys stall it long enough. And we shall see that one stalls, they get a kill. They've already smoked out. Yep, and look, he's here to have impact in the round. finds this guy and is ready to fight like anyone in this area, which is huge value. Where a lower rated player might still actually be like Catwalk or still like Window, fast rotated, made it here in order to have impact on the round.
Land, fighting, cool.
Both.
Yep. They ended up winning the round. Nice. But that's like pistol specific. Let's go deeper into a round. Let's say round not this.
Body shots.
They even won it. Let's go. So round 17. So this is a very random, like, we're deep into the round. They're against an eco. Because they're in an eco, it's kind of weird to expect things. We're going to actually start in market, looking to take this in normal engagement from market to catwalk. This is a very normal engagement that like Jets will look for in high level. Of course, he has a solo with them, so it's doubled up. Yep. And so what? He immediately breaks the dart, and then they call flashing and running up A main. And so in his mind, that triggers, I need to strengthen that part of the map. And so he comes this way. But let's see, does he cancel this because they stop him? No. So they don't stop him, he just commits, right? And bam, we're here, and we're ready to peek out because note the position of our teammate. Our teammate's actually willing to fight. Like, they're behind this gun. Yeah, so comes out, helps your boy.
I think I heard
Yep. And then he settles into this position, and life is good. All fights are in front of him. Knows where the Sova is because of the ult. And life's chilling.
Hopefully he didn't leave already.
Guy's patient as can be. Good lord. Good night. Anyway, that's like second for you. So. Okay. Now, this kind of idea is the same sort of idea. They're getting a player right here, which is like really strong. Like it's a nice little mix-up. It's kind of hard to do. And it's only possible if you have someone that can shoot like these darts. And so that's what his job is. And so, yep, he drops back to rotate to this position. And what's really good about this is not only can he, now he has a super fast pace to both B and A, kind of the advantage of playing the spot, but as you saw, he can also spot deep, giving deep information towards mid if they're coming up mid, doing any weird nonsense. It's a good position all around. But he doesn't need to fight here. And so they hear noise B main. He comes over. And now he's ready to be an anchor player for...
Clone going up mid. Uh-oh.
Yep. Don Cutie's so good too. Holy moly. Hey, he's also a really good player. Let's not put that past him at all. This guy is definitely good at the game, which is good. We like Zekin being good at the game. But that's like, it's kind of hard to tell. Like past this point, when he completes his rotation and actually starts getting to the fights, that's when like experience, this is mid-round experience, comes into play. What he did was really strong, of course, don't get me wrong, but this is not teachable. Like, you can't teach people. So once you get into this position,
I think they want to finish.
like, there's no formula for this. Like, look at this. From a perspective, we can break it down slowly, but it's so hard to, like, consciously try to make these decisions in game, right? They called it B-split because it made sense. Like, both their duelists are walking up mid. There was a smoke deep mid. It's likely that they wanted to split here.
I think it's this play,
And so he immediately takes a shot, dashes, repositions. This is a very quick reposition. The dart flies. He doesn't even bother shooting it. He just swings on a timing, kills him, hops dash, comes out to swing the guy, gets a shot off, dashes back, then re-swings him when he looks for another fight. And that is almost impossible to teach. That's why, like, when we're learning the game, we learn opening theory. But once we're in game, in the mid game, that is where experience lies. Thank you for the lurk, of course. Good luck with your games. Have fun. But then, of course, once you get to, like, positions like post plant, it goes back to being theory. Because there's only so many good positions you can play. So it's like these you study, these you experience. And we just made a big burger on stream. Hope you guys got that. But essentially what allows us to make good rotations is we give the rotations purposes. Like, why am I rotating? Let's not... I have this for... So, why do we rotate? And this is the basic question, is like, why am I rotating? Am I just running here because we heard noise? I feel like that's weak. That's not strong enough. Okay, they're throwing utility that makes it seem like they're gonna hit the site. Like, they're throwing smokes, they're throwing initiator utility, they're making a lot of noise. Okay, maybe this is a hit. Maybe this is a hit. Right. And so then it would be like, okay, we're going to rotate. This makes sense to me. The same kind of reason why sometimes you just shift rather than fully rotate. They're making a lot of noise. They threw the utility and then they stopped making noise. That's pretty awkward. I'm A main. I don't see anything. I heard a lot of noise B, but they're not committing. And so I'm here in tree. Let's just chill. Let's see what they have for us. Let's watch Catwalk. Maybe come back, watch main. Maybe go heaven, watch main. You know, a couple of ideas in store that you can, of course. And so those are like the two questions that allow us to like break down things at its most basic level. And these are things that can help you when VOD reviewing your own games, or like when you notice that I'm looking into it. So we have, why am I rotating? And then what counters my position? Whoop. Like, once you can highlight and identify in your own games, this helps a lot. But even if you don't, like, you'll notice that I do this a lot, is we give purpose to the question. And because we give purpose, it's like, okay, these are pretty easy to see, and it gets me thinking, right, in game. And when you think, you're a lot better because your brain is being utilized, and having brain that's being used is pretty good. And so with that being said, that's really the basics. Of course, I can go into a billion, like, not extreme examples, but like very, what's the word? I can go into very advanced topics with these as the fundamentals, right? Because now, like, we can talk about concepts that exist with these as the bases for any further topic that we want to go through. And so learning to just basically, if like these are your focus points, like, okay, I asked the question, why am I rotating? What was the purpose of me rotating here? Like, do I need to cover the space? Were they making a lot of noise? Was it looking like they were going to hit? You know, because sometimes they'll run a fake. Fall for the fake. That's fine. Like, if they show they can fake competently, lose to it. I'm down. But yeah, that was the basics of macro. Boiled down to the fundamentals. And of course, the following Monday and Wednesday, we'll also be giving the basic fundamentals for mechanics and utility, respectively. So there's that to look forward to if you like learning. If you don't like learning, oh well, you're wrecked. I don't care. But with it being like an introduction to the macro, I can now open the floor to questions, comments, concerns about any sort of thing relevant to the like the basics of the macro. Like, we're talking the positioning and the rotation skill, and like the questions pertaining to like these questions. If there's like specific scenarios that come into your brain that it's like, okay, well then what count? Like, what count is this position? Why is this position good? Why is this position bad? Of course, in context it matters, but like, you can talk to it in plain things. Totally fine with me. But after that, I will open the table to any individual with a VOD ready. I don't have many. If Mr. Mojo is here, can step forward at any time. Has a VOD ready. Omen on split. If not, we can just chill here for a bit. But I am staying for an additional hour. So the class portion is done. This could also be like an additional, like, we watch a specific pro who plays a particular agent. We've audited them for an hour. Kind of open floor. You're plat too. And congratulations. Keep pushing. Let's go. Thank you, Kat. And 19 on Clove. Okay, you will definitely actually... I recommend you show up, because I'm going to be really... Let me be completely fair to you. I'm just gonna assume you played Clove on Pearl. Let's pick someone who's, like, not crazy. Or we'll just do a Sen. This is fine. Alright, let me know. Does your gunfights... So did your gunfights at any particular point in the game look like this? But even if, like, your pistol's not insane, let's pick up a round where we're not using a pistol. Anyway. Nice.
That pistol round, I wouldn't say.
Fucking world champ.
Second ult. We know. That's just
I'm gonna join him in here. I'm joining the smoke. He's on the other side.
Yeah, did your
Right here. I just
does your fights look like this? Your aim fell off.
Did he splint on that?
Nothing you did work. All right. You tricked yourself into panic spraying. We definitely, when I was watching you earlier, I'm not gonna lie, there were definitely issues we have mechanically still. Like we've fixed a bit. We have, and we fixed how you approach your gunfights, right? We've done a lot of good work getting ourselves into the gunfights, and we've gotten ourselves to the point where our mechanics aren't awful, but one half of our mechanics. This is why I actually kind of wanted you to show up on Monday, because Monday is the mechanical day, and to not spoil the entire lesson, because I want this to be like a recurring thing. Mechanics are built into two distinct categories. One is movement, and the other is raw. Of course, movement is on a scale significantly more impactful than raw mechanics are. This line is not exactly correlative, of course, don't get me wrong. Both are important, but this is way more important. And so we picked up a good habit of moving and shooting, right? This is something that you've done well, but we've gained another bad habit in, I would say, relying on the movement. That's one of the things I think the majority of your gunfights are going to fall under. But I'm curious, if your self-diagnosis is panic spraying, so when we talk about panic spraying, this can be birthed from one of three things: lack of confidence, lack of understanding gunplay, or lack of practice for your gunplay. I would say is more like those two. And the last one is a lack of anticipation. And so it's hard to diagnose which one of these is the source of your woes, right? Because not only could it just be one of these things, right? This could theoretically be two of them, or even all three. Which means it's really hard to diagnose comparatively to, like, there's some easy fix, like some things are very easy to diagnose for me because it's very cut and dry. Like, for example, if you play like 2 games a week, don't be surprised when I tell you you're not playing enough games. Like, that's super easy to diagnose if you're trying to get better at something. Like, if you only spend, like, for example, I'm studying Japanese. It's probably not any like news to anyone, but do you think I would be relatively fluent, or not fluent, I'm not even remotely close to fluent, but like relatively understanding the language, or would I relatively understand the language if I only spent like 5 minutes a day? Unlikely, right? Unlikely. And so those are like easy fixes, but these where there's like multiple symptoms, because this is an effect, not a cause. And so when you try to diagnose yourself with effects, you miss these, and these are hard to see. And so with you in particular, I don't think you lack confidence. I think the majority of the players that pay me to get coached at American Eagle, they don't lack the killing instinct. Most of you don't. Some of you do. Some of you do lack it, which is concerning. Like, for example, here, let me show. Let me show the effect of a killer instinct. It's not pushing out of this smoke. Mind you. He might not even do it, which he's good at. He's good at the game. Let's go. But his killer instinct is he's going to kill this guy if he appears on his screen. And of course the cage is the same way, so he gets zoned.
Haven't tagged. I'm gonna get mid.
Notice every time someone comes on this guy's screen, he kills them.
Trade.
Of course, watch. He's going to peek him, and he might die. But he gets on his screen, he just fights him, right? That's what people kind of struggle with. Yeah. So getting caught off guard is not a problem. Because, so the two that are concerning is like 1 and 2. Like, if you lack confidence and you lack gunplay ability, those are the concerning ones. Anticipation is actually a pretty easy fix, which is just to not get caught off guard as often. Like, be aware of like likely threats. It's not be aware of all threats, mind you, because that would be impossible. If you were aware of every single possible threat, you would be a supercomputer and or worse. Whatever that translates to. Practice is a factor. So like, yeah, and those like 3 lists, like I would say the one that impacts you the most is actually probably not in order. I honestly think it's like 2, 1, 3. So if you lack gunplay, that'll eat you. That'll eat you alive. And yeah, good. It should depend on your mood because it's an emotion. And it's kind of hard to... Because you can't build confidence, you can only lose insecurities. It's very hard for people to, like, find a balance of, like, I'm confident in my abilities, which, of course, it's also built through practice. So, like, the more you practice the particular skill you struggle with, the more confident you'll be in that because you're losing an insecurity, right? Because the insecurity is I cannot perform the action and practice allows you to perform the action repetitively until you can't fail. That's when it's good practice. You don't practice until you get it done right. You practice until you can't fail. And when that occurs, and it's a beauty when it occurs, you start feeling confident. You start like actually taking the shots that you normally wouldn't because you've practiced it. You've gone for it. The way to practice and playing the game, yeah. And so you have to be very keen and aware that you should trial, and that's when like limit testing comes into play and fancy stuff like that, where like you try, like you see, like, can I actually just win this fight? And let me try 100 times. Like, honestly, I have an hour. Are you free to get in a custom with me and practice a fight that you struggle with? Bet. Is actually something I worked on with a friend. I would pull, and I'll name drop, I don't care. I would pull my best friend, Jabra also draws, into custom lobbies, specifically on Breeze, because I struggled when taking like those initial fights on right and left pyramid. And so I would tell him, hey, can you hold an unpeak after you take like a couple shots? And can we run this like 100 times? And when he's like down, which of course you don't always have to be down, but when he was down, we would run it and I would get better. Like, I'm really good at taking those fights. When when Breeze comes back into the pool, I will slay. It also helps that I'm like better than you. So you have reps against somebody who's really good at the game. If it'll open. It opened. Let's go. Here, we'll turn off the music. All right. He said split. So.
I am the beginning. I am the end. Split. They don't know the meaning of the word. My ultimate is ready. I have the spike.
Could always just talk to you, huh?
That works.
All right, what fight in particular were you like struggling on?
This one probably be a good one to start with, like from here to main-ish.
Gotcha. So you're holding the off angle, playing to escape. So what weapon did you struggle against? Was the enemy team running like Phantoms, Vandals?
Yeah, rifles.
Which one were you struggling particularly against?
Vandals.
Do you remember? Vandal? Gotcha. And so, like, was it just them, like, coming up ramps and then, like, DDPing you?
Yeah, or like flashes at times.
I got you. So, we'll run 50 where I just raw peek you,
Okay.
and then we'll run 50 where I flash you.
All right.
Okay, and I'm not gonna call when I'm coming up. Just be ready.
All right.
That's 2. That's 3. That's 5. 6. Yeah, that was 7. Got him twice. 2 and 5. Okay, that's 8. So 3 and 5. Okay, 3 and 6. Okay, 4 and 6. Five and 6. Six and 6. Okay, 6 and 7. Okay, 7 and 8. Or I think, yeah. 8 and 8. 8 and 9. 8 and 10. So we're running a simulation of fights. So 8 and 11 to prepare him because he struggled. Hold 1 second. I'm explaining something. So this particular player struggled with taking this fight or this fight. And so we're just running it like down the line and practicing these fight in particular 100 times. So 8 and 12. We're 20 in. Did you notice you were losing the fights when they were full sprinting at you? Or did you notice it when they were like slow clearing you? Like, do you die to lurkers?
Full sprinting way more.
Full sprinting? Gotcha.
Also learning this is actually a very flexible spot to play from.
11, 13. 12 and 13. 12 and 14.
No.
12 and 15. All right, 13, 15. All right. 14, 15.
No.
14, 16. Fifteen, 16. Sixteen, 16. This is 17, 16. That is 19, 18. No, that's 2018. Sorry. 18. 21, 18. It is unfortunate I'm warmed up now. 118. 21, 19. These are the total fights. So I do my number and then I do their number for wins. And we just calc it. It's going to be percentile based out of 50. So I am 21, they're 19, we've done 40. Okay. We're looking on the average number. Okay, 21, 20. That is 22, 20. He called full speed. 23, 20. How many fights are we doing? We're doing 100. 50 without utility because he struggled in these raw fights, and 50 with. 23, 20. $24, 20. $24, 21. That puts us at 45. Yep, 100 fights to build, like, training to it. Okay. Further. All right, 24, 22. You man. 25, 22. $25, 23. Okay, 25 or 26, 23. And 27, 23. Okay. So that was 50 fights. A little give or take.
Okay.
And so do you know exactly, because like the scoreboard actually doesn't add up correctly because we did a little double tap action a couple of times.
Yeah, I saw that.
So what do you think your percentage out of the 50 was? Or I guess how many did you win?
Like 20-ish duels, maybe?
Like 23.
Those good numbers, I mean.
Yeah, a little under 50%, especially when you're on an off angle, seems like a little odd. But there was one fight in particular where you actually won 100%, and it was when you were here. So when you're on the edge of the box and someone comes up a peek, notice how you had like this huge advantage, unless they like
Yeah,
come
you see
over.
a lot more of them.
Yeah, and just I'm gonna slowly peek at you real quick, just to show. So I peek that, and let's say I come over and try to pre-aim you. You're like over here, and I'm dead. A lot of like the power of off angles comes from crosshair placement. So I'm gonna show you my head in various positions, and I want you to get a feel for where your
Okay.
crosshair should rest. So this is one position. This is the second one that you might see a lot. You might see this one a lot too in the middle if they're good. And so just gonna kind of keep an idea of where that should hold, and then life's good. You'll win those all the time. Or not all the time, but you should win
Yeah.
those 60%, ideally. You're facing somebody like 3-4 ranks ahead of you. So I had a feeling that the number would be skewed. Also, I kind of like pre-aimed you a couple of times. My bad. Sorry, brother.
That's fine.
But now these next 50, I'm going to use my blind. All utility is on the table. What's up? What's up in Rock City? How's it going? Why didn't your Valorant go to your second monitor? Do like make it like windowed and then move it over. 1 sec.
All right.
But how's it going in Rock City? How's it going? How's it going? It won't go into Windows? Oh, get wrecked. I have no idea why it does that. It does that with the aim labs, but I can make it windowed. I've never had it happen to my Valorant. Unless you're, you specifically made, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I would say the only, I'm not too familiar. I'm not a big software guy. I work specifically in networking for computers, so I'm a bit out of my depth for that. I've never had that issue, so I don't know how to assist you. Apologies. Good luck, soldier. Fight the good fight.
Blinding.
Okay, 1-0. Hi, how's it going?
Swinging that wall full blind was not my best choice.
It's okay, that's why we're practicing. 50 attempts, 1-0.
Stealing sight.
Alright. No worries, we're practicing. This is why we practice.
Maybe I should not be playing Reyna for this.
Stealing sight.
Okay, what agent actually you fight against? How's it going? In
What?
Rusty? How's it going? What agent was actually like flashing you? Were you actually getting Omen flash from over here?
Wasn't actually no. I think I just messed up with the flashes. One instance was where there was like a jet that
Oh,
updrafted over my
bye-bye.
head and landed like right here and pushed back into our own smoke. Very specific scenario, but I just
Oh.
like got lost.
I'm not too worried about that. I'm surprised that you're struggling on an off-angle fight as Reyna. Because a lot of it, you just stand still and then shoot them when they appear on your screen. So I was worried that maybe, oh, they probably had a Phoenix. He would get like right here and then flash, and you like die a lot of times, because that makes sense to me. Because like, especially even if you like fall down, like you have to win this fight, and this fight sucks. Whereas if you're like right here or back here, it's like free eats. Like this guy should just die. You dismiss out, and you're gone.
Actually, can I recreate like one scenario that I messed up?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll switch to Jets. That was the agent I was fighting.
What if Phoenix flashes? Yep.
I'll make them remember. They're only human.
How's it hanging? How's it hanging, yo? All right. Show me what's up. Welcome back, King. You napped? Hate the world yet? Ready to kill a person? You ready to go stabbing? We can go stabbing later today, I guess. I don't know. You
Okay, I
lost.
just messed up my controls, but fix it. I forgot I had my actual push to talk button set to dash on this agent for some reason.
Huge. So you can call him when you dash. Easy.
Yep. Okay, so I was staying like
Lost
here-ish.
the game.
So can you stand there?
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at you. Where are you sitting?
And they were pushing out here. So you're like a jet. I hear
Yeah.
jet updraft.
Okay.
I was not expecting her to be here. She just does this and like, I think she swung out and killed me.
Okay, where is your position? Did you die to this jet running at you and you died right here?
I don't think she was looking at me, but I tried to like shoot her as she was walking up and I just whiffed and started panic spraying.
Okay, so in this scenario, the fun thing
just-
about it is like if you're playing in this scenario where you're here and they're doing like you hear like an updraft nonsense, you really do have to pick your poison. It's either you turn around and hard clear this jet, like you move, you be proactive, or you fight like out here in A main.
Yeah, my whole issue is like whenever I hear a jet, I knew the jet was like right here. I didn't think she'd push. I thought she'd sit like up here and just hold sight kind of thing. I don't know why I thought that, but when she swung in here, just kind of threw me.
We can go stabbing. Yeah, we can go stabbing. And so like in that specific scenario, that doesn't happen often. Like if you know like a jet or Omen loves to TP
Yeah.
into heaven because those like exist. The second you like do your jump spot, get your information, you come back and then you come window. And then let's say if they come over here, right? Like you're in prime position to end them. Yeah. So let me just show you what that
Yeah.
looks like. Like let's just assume I smoke. You're in the smoke somewhat,
Going out.
and I TP out, and I'm just dead for free. 1,000.
Yeah.
But that should feel like very. That's not a fight that you need to. Like you just need ears. If
It was just one out of a lot of fights.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that one. The odds of you
I
losing
think
this
Asus
on
had a rough
average is like
game.
super unlikely.
Probably just had a rough game, honestly.
Yeah, I'd have to watch because like when I identify fights, there are fights that I actually do struggle with. For example, if you can like
Here.
peek ramps, like and try to look for this fight here. I'm really terrible at holding that. Can we run that for like 10 rounds?
Sure.
Two, 1 and 1. 2 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 3. Alright. 4. 3 and 5. 3 and 6. 3 and 7. 4 and 7. 4. Yeah, we did a little more than 10. But I actually went 4 and
Close.
8, which is like below 50%, which is not, or actually it is just straight up 33%. Some number like, I'm sorry, my mouth is
Man,
like
this is a rough fight to take.
This fight actually doesn't favor the this player, by the way, the Ramps player. It favors me because I have 2 angles I can play on.
Yeah.
But I never win on this angle in particular. And so this is something I would ask like a friend to help me with. These are like the fights I've noticed in like the past that I would struggle on, and these are the fights I would ask for. Because like these fights, like these random one-off fights, like example, like this guy standing, let's say you're like A main, like you're in this corner. There's actually a fight that I struggle with, but it's because it's a bad fight for me. And it's, I die to this guy standing here. Knock that off. And I die to the guy standing here a lot as I'm like peeking out. So like what it kind of feels like is I come out here, clear this, clear this, clear this, and then this guy's standing here as I'm like moving on to go ramps, and I just die.
That's fair.
And that's something I practice with a buddy. Yeah, this is like the easiest drill in the world if you have friends, which you do, fortunately. This is something you can just like cheese
Just
another
vocals
member.
my punching bag for an hour.
Yeah, and of course, he gets the same treatment too. Like if there's a fight he's struggling with, it's like, okay, we'll work on your fight,
Yeah.
not too. It's 1 and 3. Let's go. My math is mathing.
If you're dying to angles that people pre-aim, though, I actually have a tip that might help.
Oh no, I'm not worried about people pre-firing me, because I usually don't play spots that get pre-fired a lot.
So I just like to take that ramp side again. I just want to try something.
Okay.
Like exact same arrangement, we just flip.
2 and 0.
I gave it a try.
I had a feeling you were gonna try to hit me with the primi crouch stuff. While it's good for like, it does win you a lot of engagements when you just like go into it, but you have to tap very quickly and then let go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see the merit to like.
Yeah,
your
doing
spot,
this
right?
is very helpful.
Because I'm telling, like, the only reason why this fight is bad for here is usually it's not a 1v1.
Yeah. Which is why you have like 2 people here and 2 people here. And they just get instant traded even if you get one.
Yeah, but that's why like your position where you're like on the corner of this box is really strong.
Because if I want to do jettison, I could do like something like that.
you'll see them. Yeah, you'll see them do that. But like, be even better, Jets. Just stay like on that corner, take that shot, then dash away, right? Because you kill the guy who's like already pre-aiming. Up
Also, now remember why I had my upper mouse button set to the dash.
Yeah, you're just not a good player.
I don't understand how good Jets will press D and E at the same time. Like the dash, just if I want to dash this way, like it's the most awkward thing to press.
Most people put it on a mouse button. Otherwise, it's like really hard to press a directional key. Same reason why my TP is also on a mouse button.
Ah, that's fair. What do you have your inspect as?
Default. I actually unbinded it to show Blue a lesson. You put in your VOD. Well, if you read
Don't
the
tell anyone from
rules,
Blue I have mine bound to my lower mouse button.
it's Monday. You'll be the first VOD in Monday. All right. Was there any other fight that you struggled with? In
The
particular,
mid one.
The mid one. Let's go. Okay, which one? On defense or attack?
From defense.
All right. So let's see. So it's the vent to this fight, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well that fight sucks. No wonder. So this fight is genuinely awful for you.
Yeah.
On average, I can tell you right now, on average, you will lose that fight. And the only reason why is because this angle exists. Like over here. Because you can get peeked from 2 different angles that expose yourself deep. It's like almost impossible for you to threaten that consistently. Like, this is probably a fight I would give maybe like once or twice a game. Just to kind of like break check them, or, you know, like heat check them. Is like, okay, can you shoot back at me? And if the answer is like yes, you're like, okay, I stopped giving that fight. But if you can heat check them, like if you drop me like once or twice, I would still take those fights. But then when I notice I'm getting peeked from like sewers as well, it's like, I don't like that. And so how you typically play vents and how you get your fights is you play the off angle. Like you play back here, you watch here. If you need information, you jump spot. Like close to the wall. And you'll notice if you get smoked off, you're Bing chilling because you chill right here next to the smoke. And if your teammates are goated, they're holding mid-mail for you, and then you swing out when they fight. Like, that's the value of this space on mid. It's, like, really hard. And why you guys were actually giving me a hernia when you were, like, playing this in, like, your actual, like, season matches. You guys would push down mid, which, as you might figure out,
Here.
is disadvantage because there's sewer and link. Because it's the same
Makes
kind of
sense.
idea. Because it's the same kind of idea here. Like there's there's a threat, both vents and like B heaven. And then boom, you just like you fry. Because like if there's a lurker and you're chilling right here, the dude's dead, right? On average, I give you like 65% chance of winning this fight. If you don't win this fight with those odds, we work on like actual shooting.
Okay.
This fight, on the other hand, where you peek out and look here, I honestly give you like 40. Like if you win 40%, you're chilling. But on average, you should die.
Get out of my
Especially
way.
when this guy exists.
Get out of my way.
Like the guy on like the left by boxes.
Get out of my way.
So that's how it would actually fix your fights. I wouldn't take him as often.
Okay. There is one other specific thing I want to practice, but this is really niche.
Okay, what's the is it a fight?
Yes, it is, but
Okay.
it's actually a pretty universal one.
What's the fight?
Fighting in an ISO ult. As ISO.
Okay. Funny story. ISO ult technically isn't an advantage. But it's
The shield kind of makes it that way.
It is, but technically it's not an advantage with the geometry of it. And so what you will tend to do, and I noticed you do this a lot, is you would get into the ISO ult and immediately make footsteps over here to like the left or to the right, giving your opponent information in a 1v1.
Just going quiet to one of the sides is kind of the strat.
Yes,
Because if you just sit in the middle, they just tap you in the face. I tried that once, never again.
You either like hold, you can't hold both sides, right? Because you're gambling, but you you silently go to the other side, because then they have to gamble 4 potential angles, right? Or like 2 squares. That's the advantage you get, and so when you immediately start sprinting, you lose. That's how you would like convert more of those fights. So I would try all that.
It's not even like the specific fights that I'm having issue with. It's more of like, I don't know how to explain this. If I'm fighting someone from like here and we end up in a strafe battle, I just cannot track their head to save my life. At all.
Okay. Lock in ISO.
I survived
30 seconds left.
obliteration. I will survive them.
Okay, I'm bottom mid. Ult me whenever.
Okay.
We'll practice this 50 times.
With the shield or without the shield?
With the shield for 25, without it for the next 25.
Alright.
It's you and me.
Okay, 0-1.
It's you and me.
0-2.
It's you and me.
0-3.
It's you and me.
Is zooming in and out? It shouldn't be. 0-5. Oh, 0-4, sorry.
It's you and me.
0-6. Better now. Chilling.
It's you and me.
One 6.
It's you and me.
7.
It's you and me.
2-7.
It's you and me.
3-7.
It's you and me.
3-8.
It's you and me.
3-9.
It's you and me.
Are we at 25 yet?
No, this is the 13th one.
Okay.
3-10.
It's you and me.
4-10.
Yeah, like it's those specific fights I struggle with. When we get in like the strafe battle, I just can't track their head.
Gotcha.
So I think that's just practice.
Yeah, I'm going to now just do that strafing pattern for the next
Okay.
set of fights. So you don't have to shield up. I'm not going to shoot back.
Okay. In the ISO ult or just
Yeah, in ISO.
general?
What you're
Okay.
struggling in the ISO.
It's you and me. It's you and me.
All right, a big tip. What are you looking at when you're shooting at me?
Your head, realistically.
So you are?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. I want you to purely just look at me. Here, we're going to do it outside of the ISO ult just for practice. Don't shoot, just track my head, but read my movement. I'm going to make a predictable pattern for maybe like the first 30 seconds, and then I'm going to try to be unpredictable. So
Okay.
try your best to follow along. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, and so for that, we focused primarily of looking and like just following with your eyes how I was moving, right? So you're reading my movement is like the skill we're
Yeah.
gonna develop here. And now throw me into the ISO ult. We're gonna do it again, but this time shoot me.
It's you
Okay.
and me. It's you and me. It's you and me.
All right, this might actually help you a lot more. If you tag a body shot, can you try committing to a spray then?
Okay. Just
Right.
now or ISO ult?
This is a nice ult, yeah.
Okay.
It's you and me.
Notice how you didn't tag a body shot, but you immediately committed to your spray?
Oh, is that what I'm missing with the panic state?
Yeah. So you're finding yourself in situations where you immediately. And did you notice how
Yeah.
long that actually took me to kill you? Like in
Yeah.
hindsight.
And when I find people that do that, if I dodge the first like 5 bullets, they just entirely die. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah. So I
At that
actually
point,
want
the gun's
you.
so inaccurate.
We don't need to do ISO ult here. We actually need to practice this. So I want you to just like practice putting a bullet in my body. If you don't hit the head, that's fine. Pop my body and then spray me down.
Okay.
See how you're not committing to it though?
Yeah.
I want you to like hard commit to it. Let me buy armor real quick. All right. Go for it. See how there's hesitation? You're letting it like reset.
I'm
into this?
trying. Still hesitation.
Didn't tag.
That
Didn't
was
tag.
on accident.
That looked good. All right, now the final step of this is fighting me for real in an ISO.
Okay.
Trying to put everything here together.
I'm gonna do this without a shield because I think it's good practice.
Yep.
It's you and me.
I didn't move that time. I gotta remember to move.
It's you and me. It's you and me.
3.
It's you and me.
Okay. 2 and 2. Two to
It's
3.
you and me. It's you and me.
4 to 2. 5 to 2.
It's you and me.
Five to 3.
It's you and me.
Oh, I was even ready for that too. That's crazy.
It's you
5 to 4.
and me.
Five to 5.
It's you and me.
Six to 5.
It's you and me.
Six to 6.
It's you and me.
Seven to 6.
It's you and me. It's
8 to 6.
you and me.
Eight to 7.
It's you and me.
8 to 8.
It's you and me. It's
8 to
you
9.
and me.
Nine to 9.
It's you and me.
10 to 9.
Yeah, no, pushing out the middle does not work.
No, it is very bad.
Unless you have like a stinger or something, there's no reason to do that.
Yeah.
It's
That's like you have
you
Judge
and
or
me.
close range gun.
Ideally, if you're on ISO, you're never gonna do that.
11 to 10.
It's you and me. It's
11,
you
11.
and me.
Twelve, 11.
It's you and me. It's you and me.
13, 11.
It's you and me.
13, 12. 14, 12.
It's you and me.
I'm losing count. I need to focus. Fourteen, 13.
It's
Might be
you
fighting against
and
someone who
me.
does that. Does depend. Sometimes people do just run through this, like I will. It's still disadvantaged, I feel. Like I don't want to leverage my
It's
talent
you
against this
and
guy.
me.
14, 14. But I'll try it. I'll do it a couple times just to show. 15 or 14, 15.
It's you and me.
Actually, a lot you can do with the
14,
SOL.
16.
It's you and me.
All right. Or what was that? 14, 16. We're on 30. 14, 17.
Actually, I want to test something.
Well, what's your test?
I'm gonna do this with the shield. I just want to see if the shield pokes out if I push through one of the walls.
Of course.
It's you and me.
Okay, stand in. It does.
Okay.
Yeah, because it follows your body model.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Oh well.
It's you and me.
I'm gonna do this with the shield now to get a little bit more feel with the real thing.
Yep.
It's you and me. It's you and me.
Yeah, no, it makes it so obvious.
It's you and me. It's you and me. It's you and me. It's you and me.
Okay.
Mr. Focal has called me. Would you like to go to the Affinity voice chat? Sorry, the American Eagle voice chat. My bad.
I got 3 minutes until I'm done. So,
Okay. Let's do this for another 3 minutes if you don't mind.
of course, yeah.
It's
This is
you
really
and
helping.
me. It's you and me. It's you and me. It's you and me.
Thought I'd catch him off guard with the AFK special.
It's you and me.
It's you and me. It's you and me.
He's winning more now? Yeah.
Did you predict I would be there, or did you hear a footstep?
I predicted.
It's
Okay.
you and me. It's you and me. It's you and me.
I was actually too slow to spray you. Oopsie.
Shots went in my own shield.
It's you and me.
Yeah, no, the center is just way too predictable.
It doesn't work. It's like the one advantage
really
you get,
doesn't,
you're just
'cause it's-
throwing it away.
It's where your
It's you and
crosshairs
me.
by default when you're actually putting the ult.
It's you and me.
I'll give him one more, and then I'm calling it.
It's you and me. It's you and me.
Okay, I'll give him one more.
Should have committed the spray there.
I kind of want him to end on a dub, though. I'm not trying to throw,
It's
though.
you and me.
A lot of it is I just know how to, like, end him on my screen.
It's you and me.
All right, this is the last one, and then I gotta cut you off.
Alright.
All right, show what you got.
It's you and me.
Good shot. All right,
Thank you.
I'm bouncing. Of course, you're welcome. Hopefully this was helpful.
It was very helpful, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. Get some rest before you queue another game. I honestly would take like a 5-minute break and then
Okay.
go crazy into it.
Sounds good.
Good luck, have fun.
Bye.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The jury has spoken. The class is over. I'll do a little bit of a Q&A before, or not Q&A, that doesn't make sense. I'm not popular. Nice try. Ooh. Actually, wait, King, are you still here? I'm so glad people actually learned how to, like, submit proper. You got me a tracker. Ooh. If I had to restart my progress in Valorant, what would I do? Like starting from scratch? You're here, perfect. I'll do a quick little tracker review for you, King, after I answer the question. If I had to restart, I would just be bad. It's kind of, if I had to restart, it would be a lot of what I preach now. Because I'm actually working on a YouTube video about this very topic. I would, and actually I'll pull up my tracker for like reference. Is how I would answer this question is I would, because I didn't hit like crazy numbers until like over here, right? I didn't like hit like Immortal 3 stuff. Immortal 2 is still like over here. And so what you kind of might notice is like I didn't play at all. So like the first thing I would do is I would play consistently. Like I'd try to get 2 games in a day playing ranked. I would try to be intentional with my practice and try to like make the game easy to understand for myself. I would say focusing on like getting better mechanically, getting better with my communication, getting better like, but like all in basic ideas, right? Like I wouldn't like go down the hard pill where it's like you have to focus on every single little bit of mechanical skills. Like just kind of break every skill down into like a sub skill and learn it that way. And then I would just wait, because it all takes time at the end of the day. Maybe also like I say in like this area, like between episode, like end of episode 4, episode 5, have like a clearer head. And it's because I got mad very often. I think also like in this area, like maybe like end of episode 4, episode 5, I found myself getting mad a lot, and I think that that's like really bad for me. So I would try to like not be emotionally invested, and I would VOD review a mess ton. Like I would watch my games back and compare them with pros. But that's all I would do. It's all the stuff I do now. Starting a comp game? No worries. We got no skins? True. If you're the practice, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's hard gold 2 for 4x. Oh yeah, as you might notice, I didn't play the game like an adequate amount of time, and by the time I've actually like got better in skill is when I actually got to platinum. But you notice I'm not actually hard stuck in any rank. The only time I felt really hard stuck is this act, where I played a lot. Or it was honestly like this one, where I played a lot and I became like the number, like I was like top, like the highest I've been is top 2000 at any given point. But this is like a real one. Like this is probably the first real one where I was top 3k. This is the first time in my life that I ever felt hard stuck at Immortal 3. That was the only time. Every other time, I just haven't put in the time and I haven't actually put in the practice. But every time I did put in the practice and put in the games and the hours, I got better. Of course, I just don't play anymore. So like, that question is kind of invalidated nowadays, because my goal is not to be the best player in the world. Because honestly, I hit, subtract all these hours from like this, I think I hit Immortal in 500 hours, which is pretty fast. Agent Mastery, good for climbing. Agent Simplicity is good for climbing. So, allow me to clarify what that looks like. When I first hit Immortal, of these 66 hours, 40 of them were in Astra. Right? And so, like, I spent a lot of time on, like, these 2 agents. Like, I played a lot of Astra and I played a lot of Viper. These are, like, the only 2 agents I played. And I got really good at them. And I had fun playing them. And that's how I got good, right? Yeah, I do think that agent simplicity is better. So, like, if you play just 1 or 2 agents or 1 role, but, like, 1 agent per map, you will climb faster because we're simplifying the game. But you balance, you do need to struggle, like you struggle with your mentality. You get mad at your team too often. If I had to give you like an actual thing to work on, I would work on being able to like emotionally distance yourself from every game. Not like entirely, like you don't have to be some like Zen monk every game, because that's like impossible. I don't expect that. That's kind of silly. $70% of your games you have to fill. You don't have to fill. You can insta-lock an agent. These are my agent stats? No, these are just like my lifetime stats. If you want my agent stats, these are my agent stats of all acts. As you might notice a bit of a trend. I'm really good on Astra and Viper, and I'm really bad, or I'm like relatively bad on Omen and Brim. And significantly horrible on Harbor. Played him once, I hated him. But yeah. You'll notice there's a trend here. There was like an experimental phase where I tried to figure out what I had fun with. And then I figured out what I actually like playing. Honestly, it's like these three. I learned Cypher for a team. I learned Fade and Sova for a team. And I learned Phoenix because I wanted to prove that I'm not a hack and I can play a duelist and have a winning percent. Harbor fun? Of course Harbor's fun. No, I understand. Harbor's pretty fun. I just don't like playing him. And I know you're biased. I have a couple of Jet. Yeah. I played a couple of Jet games. Lost both of them. But I was cruising for a bruising, bro. Look at me. My ACS is not the highest. It was like highest on Raze. My Raze was pretty sick. Believe it or not. If I had to play a duelist again, I would probably pick Raze. I had a lot of fun playing Raze. No Neon? No. I have not played Neon. I probably never will. No Vise either, I don't think. I think eventually I stopped playing the new agents. Like I trialed these two. Yeah, I enjoy playing Raze. Alright. Because we have a preliminary that could be a gross deadlock. I'm sure I'm good at every agent, right? Or I can be decent because of my base skill. But it's like, do I really want to play Deadlock? Not really. I really don't want to. I mean, I could. Like, if I got signed to a team and they're like, we need you to play Sage and Deadlock, I'd be like, I don't want to, but I guess I will. Like, sure. I did. I stopped playing. Like, the second Vise got released, I didn't even pick it up. Like, I didn't play it. I was like, I don't want to play this. MS Paint on Mentality. I mean, pretty simple. Here, let me show you. Let me show you what the graph is. This is a graph of emotional instability. And this is what happens when you like are emotionally invested into every game. You have a graph that looks like this. And I did this breakdown for a pro player. The pro equivalent to this is Con. And you'll notice when you watch him play, he has really high highs, but really low lows. Yeah, enjoy the flashbang. And so because of this, it's very what pro players do, because this is not consistent, right? Your consistent games are very few and far between, and it feels really like hit or miss. And so what a lot of players do, here, we'll keep the graph. What? No. You draw with white? Well, I do a white background and draw with black because I like to destroy your retinas. That's not my fault. Get stronger eyes. I literally, well, I can't say that. I actually had surgery to fix mine. But so you'll find that a lot of players will play with this kind of emotional stability. Players, an example for this would be like any pro player. Not content creator. Yeah, I got my eye scraped. You're right. And so when you watch pro players, you'll notice that they have a very low emotional like wave. And it allows them to play more consistently throughout. Like, this is over the course of 1,000 games, by the way. And if they played in your model, where, like, you were super invariant, it really, really, it's hard to maintain old energy that is stone faced. Yeah, exactly. No, because like you don't want emotional variation. You want to be consistent and like be able to think very logically in game. The only person that doesn't have to do this, and I can name drop him, actually someone did just name drop him, is Som. Som, unironically, plays like this. And this is like high energy and happy. Like he's also happy doing this. And so like, that's very rare. Like I'm sure he has games. Like I'm sure there are times where Som like feels like this and then he'll come right back. Just as quick. You don't watch Som? That's fine. But I would pick pro players to watch. And notice how like a lot of them they don't get super mad. They don't get like confrontational. You'll notice they have super low energy. They're kind of maintaining. Think of like Xander, Zekin, like John Cutie. Like they'll like laugh and have fun, of course, because they enjoy the game and have fun. But you'll find that they like very rarely are insanely happy or insanely like angry. Can you pick Muda? I can't believe you both picked Muda because so Muda. What team is Muda on again? Was he the one who joined? Is he a content creator? I feel like I've heard that name though. He's a content creator? Okay, yeah. I said pro player. Not content creator. You don't want a content creator. So, no. I recognize him as the guy who looks like Sabrosa, and it looked like he leaned into that very heavily, which is funny. He's a rank 5. Yeah, rankers don't transition very well to pro play. He has the craziest crash outs. Well, he does that for content. And that's not consistent, and it doesn't help him. He's a pro in your heart. But no. While you can't... So, and he shows that, like, it's possible, but it's not... Like, this guy's also... He probably, before he streamed and got to that level of popularity, he probably had this, like, low emotional variability. But then the second he got popular, it's like, oh, I need to be entertaining. How do I be entertaining? What's the fastest way to be entertaining? And it's just getting really, really angry and being like going crazy. Benji Yair 10s? Yeah, and you'll notice with those people, they are super low energy. Like, or not low energy, but like low variability. Oh, Aspas is even worse, dude. I don't even know. Aspas feels like he's just 100% chill. Oh, if you're going to brush your teeth, I will be gone. I'm already past due. I usually end at 9 exactly. But I just answered your question, so that's chilling. Any other... Oh, wait, I still have to do the... That's right, I still have to do the review real quick. Okay, so King, I know you're here just AFK, but if you're listening, you're welcome. Yeah, have a good night. I'll probably be gone before you come back. Let's see. First thing we look for is the matches. Wow, okay. Well. This block is kind of awkward. There. No more minutes. Fair enough. I will be dropping soon, though. Yeah, this block spooks me. Because there's a lack of consistency. That's like the first thing that spooks me, King, is there's like... And also, I'm not gonna lie to you. What's your solo queue win rate? Oh my god, you don't play this game by yourself at all, ever. What? Okay. So, hear me out. We don't have a sample size, but like, yeah, we definitely don't have a sample size at all. Like, I'm surprised most players, when I do like a solo duo like breakdown, usually like there's like a mix and it's easier to tell whether or not you should be duoing with your party or not. But this guy doesn't play solo. And like none of his like partners have a like above 50% win rate. The game is more fun with friends. I agree. I do agree. But it's important to also like baseline yourself and play solo, especially if you're trying to get better at the game. But I do agree. That's why I dropped the rule where you have to only solo queue, because I found out, or I didn't find out, I knew from the start, but I kind of understood and was more like or not apathetic, but like I was more understanding, like, yeah, it's a game that like produces either like win or lose, and that equals happy and angry. And when a game is like that, it's very annoying and not fun to play when you're alone. So I totally got that, and so that's why it's no longer a requirement that you have to solo queue. You did hate that rule? True. It was a pretty bad rule, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But the only time I would say that now it like kind of applies is like the dude doesn't play by himself though, like ever. Like even just to get a baseline. Because like I don't have any data. Because like the data shows me, the data he gives me right now is just one game. But the game he fried. Like, he got second in the lobby. Had, like, a huge KD. And, of course, his win rate's, like, 100% because he won the game. But it'd be interesting to know, it's like, is he better in his bracket versus playing in, like, an upper bracket because he's playing with, like, a player who's better than him? Or is he better than the, like, is he better than, like, his duo partner who's struggling in his rank? It's like I couldn't tell unless I like, this is one of those ones where I'm gonna just kind of have to watch the VOD Monday and we'll like come to the conclusion whether or not, like, okay, is this guy trolling me or does he actually like belong to be in the lobby? But those are like the two things I would look for, are like these stats and like these stats, because he doesn't play consistently enough, ideally 2 games a day, but also like likely a student, so I'm not too hard pressed. I would like to see these be like maybe, if anything, ones. And if he doesn't have the time because he's focusing on studies, that's totally fine too. Studies are more important than video games. I'm down. If you don't have time to play Valorant, and you also don't have time to study, you make the time to study before you make the time to play Valorant. Because then it's just like we check hours after that. 268 hours. He's actually above average for the time he's put in, which is good. He's gonna see me right trolling. If he listens with context, he'll get it. If he just like, if he looks up and he just sees the word trolling, and he's like, what is he talking about? I'm not trolling. Yeah. That'd be kind of bad. But yeah, I'm honestly sure he's not stuck. That's a question I get. And there might be awareness issues, especially when you have low hours like this. Like, this is what I find with people sub 500 hours. Is that there's a lack of like awareness because we haven't experienced the game long enough to understand like what common threats are, and so that's something I will look out for. And then the last one is agent selection, and yeah, notice I'm actually going to, can I check your tracker? Let me go do this guy. Have patience. Where's your patience? What in the world are you doing? I'm working this guy first. And so what kind of perplexes me is that he plays 1 role, 2 role, 3 role, 4 role. This guy fills, which is not great. This is really bad. How do you get good at Val? I'm making a video about this that I should be posting this weekend. 4 steps. Play consistently, play with intention on like improving like a skill that you're lacking. It takes time, so just give yourself some time to get good at it. Like, don't get discouraged and don't give up. And then the last one is like have a... Oh, what's that last point? I'm gonna lose my mind. I always forget this point. Have a feedback loop, that's it. Build a feedback loop. This usually comes in the form of like VOD reviewing. 3 words and less. Jesus. I don't know about that. Yeah, this is where we VOD review and compare our VODs to like other people. But yeah, these are like the 4 steps of getting good at like anything. But this is like what I found works for most of the people I've coached in Valorant so far. Is I do those. But yeah, that'll be out sometime soonish. Hopefully Tuesday at the latest. Likely Sunday. But yeah, there's a conversation that this player and I will have to have on Monday where it's like, what agents do we really want to play? It's very likely that under my new grouping, I actually could see him play Clove, Reyna, there should be ISO, and then Chamber. Chamber on this list? No, we should add Chamber. Because I'm looking at a bunch of agents that like are very gunplay heavy. Like these 3. And so I would be down for these to like have be in the agent pool because they all accompany like the same like action and like they have the same link, which is just gunplay. And so I'd be down for that to be the agent pool, but it's like now we're adding because like we have a decent significant amount of games on a dive duelist. Doesn't fit really well, like a space creator. And then you have like a long range support, actually 2 of them right after, and that just feels kind of off for me. So like you have to learn a bunch of different styles of gameplay for no reason. Anyway, and then maps, something we talk about map is like, do we struggle on some maps? And yeah, we do. Wow, okay. You better have brought me a split or a bind VOD. What is the VOD actually? Hold on. Hot 3 Jet. We're not going to watch. I'm going to mute as well. Brought me a split VOD. Let's go. Okay, huge. Huge. Yeah, because that's a little concerning, right? 40%'s kind of workable, especially split. Like with 13 games on a 3 to 10 split, that's a little concerning that we don't know how to play the map. That's like we lack map theory as well. That's something that can come up. But like Abyss is fine, Ascent's fine, Sunset's fine, Pearl's fine. Also kind of matters what agents we play. I have a feeling that the majority of like the wins come from like this Clove. I honestly think that we can run this like Clove pick and be cool. All right. Do a quick little check for balance and then I'm calling it a day. Bung, 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 bum, 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 bum. By the way, what's going on, Jay? How's it been, bro? Been a hot minute. I mean, New Year's, I think, right? Yeah, there's no games. You don't play. You don't play enough. Like, according to my rules, it's like you should at least play a game a day. This, of course, again, if it's between Valorant and studying, please study. I would rather you like be a smart individual than like hard focus your life to Valorant. But if you have the time to do it, then I would definitely play a game or 2 a day. It would be best if it's 2 to 3. That's another you don't like. No, this is just a skill development thing. Like, it's really hard if you play inconsistently. The rule. This is a non-negotiable one. True. I got you. But this is like, you won't get, so it's hard to translate this into something that like, because I'm not like, it's hard because like in order to get better at anything, and so like I used to have the rule where you have to play 10 games a day, 14 or 10 out of the 14 days, so like so you'd actually get a yeah, oh yeah, Nick, or balance, sorry. Oopsie. Twitch makes it so that I'm not allowed to say words or names on the stream. Oopsie. Whoops. So yeah. But the old rule, I think the old rule was kind of bad, where it's like 10, 14. And you have to play 1 to 2 games a day. Or like you have to play 2 games a day for 10 out of the 14 days. For the last 2 weeks. What happened when you were gone? We're just looking at your like play time. You don't play. Sound with the double whammy. I got school, so you can't be consistent. And that's what I was talking about before you got back. This is what happens if you step away. Oi. Anyway, so I understand that, like, here's the thing. If you want to improve at a skill, the more often you do it, the better you'll get. That should just make some, like, that should feel correct to say out loud. Let's for example say I want to get better at woodworking, and if I did a carving every day, I would eventually be really good at carving wood. Should I also add like my intentionality, like I learn from better people, I get a feedback loop, like I'm making a mistake, where am I messing up here, and then just giving myself time to perfect it. And this is why like all my coaching is free, because I understand that I coach a video game, right? And so because I coach a video game, I don't want to charge money. Like I don't. Like I'm a free coach. I coach Valorant. I don't want to charge money for this service, right? And because it's like low, I want to call it low value. I'm not going to lie to myself. We're just here to have fun and enjoy the time and enjoy the climb getting better, right? That's like the whole main purpose of this. And so let me gather my thought. So I would rather put work / school, nice O, nice spelling by the way, over Valorant, right? If it came between wanting to put more effort and time into Valorant versus needing to put more time into work and school, every day of the week, I'm telling you, focus on your job, focus on school. I understand if you want to have fun and get better, but like, the thing is, it'll just take longer. You feel? You can't find what skills you are bad at? Well, here's the funny thing. Do you VOD review? Because I did put this like graphic up. So do you record your gameplay? Nope, it's too laggy. Not Saturday and Sunday. I wish I could say I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. God, I wish. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Goes without saying. It's too laggy. Do you have a phone that can record your screen? If not, that's fine. But it used to. Same. Had a job, they expected me to work Saturdays and Sundays, and I said no. Sunday's the Lord's day. Get away from. And then I willingly took a job that makes me work Sundays. You don't know how to angle it. Your family be in the background. That's fine. Does that dismiss the gameplay? It wouldn't. I've had students in the past do that same thing where they just put a phone on like an object that could capture the screen in any way. Like as long as it covers. Have Valorant open, I can show you. As long as it covers like as long as it covers like the mini map, as long as I can see like your main fights, that's it. But I'm just giving suggestions, and obviously like if there's a way if you still can't do it, you want to then watch pro players and then attempt to learn one of the 5 basic steps. Yeah, one of the 5 basic skills in the game. And I'm going to be going heavily into them as like the weeks go on. A safe bet is to focus on your mechanical skill, and how you fix that is just by, at first, you should just do 3 DMs. If you can do 3 DMs a day, which roughly, what, 30 minutes? Roughly, give or take. It's like less than or equal to. Less or equal to 30 minutes. And then, like, eventually your gunfight technique will improve, or you'll, like, get a grasp of it. It's like, the more you do, the better. Like, this is just, like, the first thing I would recommend you to do. I wouldn't honestly go into, like, these, like, next set, which is, like, location, then, like, positioning, rotations. Like, I wouldn't go down this line. I would stay at number 1, because this is honestly likely your biggest weakness. Especially where you're at. Like, we're talking this is the typical range where you should focus on things. Is like number 1 is like iron to silver, numbers 3 through 5 honestly gold plus. This is not a hard line, of course. Sometimes you do need to learn some of these at an earlier stage, but I would say the main focus, and sometimes even gold have to learn mechanics, but the main focus fits like this description, right? Iron to silver, we're focusing on working on the mechanics, developing a killer instinct, and then all this stuff, like we learn the like hard meat and potatoes of the game once we reach gold. But you just kind of like pick this, and then you'd watch like a player, and we like break it down. So let's say, I mean, we've been watching some. I don't play this agent, but like, howdy. Let's just look mechanically what this guy does. We'll just look at the gunfights for now. Like, not how he scales, not what utility he uses. So, like, get owned. Almost.
I knew he was coming, bro.
Peeks out.
Damn.
He's going for it. He's going for it. One tap only.
Ooh, you're right.
Why do you take his...
How's it going, SWP? How's it going? Heaven is complaining. Yeah. This is rating gameplay, so just expect them to be crazy. Goes for it. Well, this guy is mega dead. Yep. And this is like, you watch every fight he takes. So this fight, puts his crosshair ready, shoots when it's on its head. Was ready for the swing right. Peeks out, kills him. And you kind of like break it down. And I honestly would watch these slower, personally. Love that it was a custom timer. Yeah. So he kills Crashies. But honestly, let's just like look how he kills Crashies. I think this kill's more important. So he like checks left, not left, looks right. His crosshair's ready. He brings his crosshair over, stops, shoot. Crosshair's open, checks, finds him, stops, shoot. And you just like go through like a pro player, not a content creator, and you like kind of look at their fights. And that's like what you learn first. Is like, okay, how is he moving? Okay. A lot of the times he's just playing A and D. It's hard for you to stop and shoot. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. If it was easy, anyone can do it, right? If everything was easy, wouldn't everyone just be gold? And so it takes intentional practice. You just admitted to yourself that, okay, it's kind of hard for me to do that. Well, okay, let's start learning how to do it. And this is like when you would go intentionally into your games, you would intentionally attempt to stop and shoot once your crosshair's on them. And you would hard practice that. That would be what you would practice. You would focus on that and nothing else. You wouldn't worry if you win or lose. You would worry if you're like actively getting reps in the skill. And that's how you get better without VOD review. It's less efficient, of course. It just will be. Because we're removing like a very integral part of feedback loop where we should be reviewing our own game and then like analyzing our weaknesses and like practicing them. But this is why like notice how like that 30 deathmatch you can get a lot of reps in your fights. And this is like a low time commitment. You can even just do one if you don't have time commitment. Like if you have 10 minutes a day, roughly. But that's like the kind of idea behind it. And that's how you get better without it. But yeah, I'm like 41 minutes over. Q&A actually went deep. A lot deeper than I anticipated. And so I will actually probably... Good lord. I'm actually like... really I will probably have to stretch out my body because I've destroyed it the past couple of days. But yeah, I intended on this just being 2 hours. I went to a little over that. But I'll take any final question that I can answer relatively quickly. That's not where I wanted that to see. Or fine. Also, don't try to talk about the new agent. I haven't seen the trailer, the teaser trailer for him yet. Yes, you are still in the phase where you need to play more and focus on the fundamentals. Yes, you notice how it was really hard for you to stop, like, aim, stop, shoot? That's when we would focus on fundamentals, yes. And you're honestly in the part of your life where it's just kind of repetition helps. Because you're still developing as, like, a human being. So it really helps to get reps now, rather than down the line. There's a new agent? Yeah. Rumored to be an initiator. It's likely going to be like Breach. Because we only have one long-range support utility initiator. We have like playmakers like KO and Gecko. We have recon initiators like Fade and Sova. And so it'll likely be like Breach. Or in between like Breach and like Info. As have you been playing? Yeah, I know. You've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Same here. Yeah, Breach is fun. I do agree. I like the playstyle. Because I actually match the playstyle with Astra, so it would make sense for me to play Breach. Am I available tomorrow? I don't know, actually. Tomorrow I might be assisting my parents in moving. Because, my brother moved, I will be moving soon, my parents are moving, so I'm unsure. Not available at like 6. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be available. I think Saturday might be a little cooked for me. Very unlikely. Yeah, I know why you will be unavailable. There's a banquet going on that I was invited to, but I can't attend because I don't exist there. All right. If there are no further questions about Valorant, I will be signing off. Honestly, I'm not even gonna open that door. I'm going to head off. I've been going a little crazy. What tool do I use? I understand who you are. So like, it's called Epic Pen, I think. Yeah, it's called Epic Pen. But yeah, with that, I will be heading out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you still are, expect a YouTube video this weekend or Tuesday. Kind of fighting myself for that one. And I will catch you on Monday. Mechanics Monday, get excited. Woo, we're gonna learn about mechanics. It'll be a lot of deathmatching and techniques and stuff like that. That'll be fun and very easy to follow along. None of this like macro stuff that's kind of hard to like teach and like translate very quick and efficiently. Anyway, that does it. Have a good night. Have a good weekend if I don't see anyone. And you all enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye. Did you get a duo? If you feel like playing the game with another person, go for it. If not, just play by yourself. It's fine. Either way is fun. If you can enjoy it by yourself. If you like playing with another person, go for it. If you like playing solo, play solo. That's like what I tell people. Don't worry about win rate. Oh my gosh, Shazam. Come on. Chaz, are you available to go in the... Hey! Fuck you. Oi. Chaz, can you be in the Discord? Because I'm about to end stream, and if you want to talk to me, I'm down. Sure? Perfect. Alright. I am going to end it. Yes. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Enjoy the climb. See you later. Enjoy. GG's. GG's.